Hi guys, welcome to another live stream from I am underscore Rupert. It seems like I'm getting on here more often now. I don't know what reason, but things do happen, and so things pop up, and I have to be on here. So until others join. Oh wow, we got, oh my God, like people are waiting for this live stream. Got three people right now who will jumped on. Thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome to you, welcome to you, welcome to you, one and all, and all to our first time viewers and subscribers. Welcome to you. I got me some new subscribers, so I want to say welcome to you. I don't know if you're on here as a new subscriber, but if you're on here, welcome to another live stream from I am underscore Rupert. And for my regular folks who have always be on here, I just want to say thank you so much and feel welcome. Yes, man, it seems like I'm doing a little more live stream. I did one on Sunday. I normally do live streams on Sundays, but since lately I've been doing a couple more because there's so much important things to discuss and to let you know what's going on. I hope my microphone is working okay. My audio is great. I'm hoping that I was about to reveal to you guys something very special in terms of our progress that we have made on this channel, but somehow there were some like technical issues and I could not get to unveil that. So that will be done on Sunday night for our next live stream. Big unboxing and an introduction to the space of my live stream. Very holy right there, so no more, the tingle. Guys, you'll see it when you see it, right? So thank you so much for being here. Welcome to you guys. Welcome one and all. As you see the title, guys, 6 weeks later, the untold stories of hope and struggle to rebuild Jamaica after the hurricane. Guys, it's such a very heart-rending situation. We're affected. Big up to you, the general in the house. Thank you, General, for being here. Say good night, Rupert and family. Thank you so much, General, for being on the stream tonight. It's gonna be a short one. I promise you, except if think sometimes we say we're going to do a thing for short, and then it depends on the engagement and all that happen in the mix. That can take us a little longer, but I always space myself out for an hour. You know what I mean? Well, that might be relatively the case tonight. So thank you guys for being here. Welcome to you, welcome. And guys, as you enter the live stream, please hit the thumbs up button. Please. Mitchie in the house. Big up Mitchie. One love to you, brother General T. Thumbs up, Mitchie. Thank you so much, guys. And I want to say a special welcome to Mitchie. Mitchie is always, it's probably early morning now where she's at, and probably getting ready to go to work or something like that. But she always finds some time to be on here, right, Mitchie? Yeah, man, I saw the thing go. Let me see what time it is in Mitchie's neck of the wood. Oh my God, Mitchie, what time? Let me see what time is Mitchie time in the neck of the woods. Tell me, Mitchie. Big up, Uncle. Big up to you guys. Hi, I'm Gemini. We're about to go live. Let me get rid of this. Okay. As you see tonight, guys, the topic, I'm going to get into that in details in a little while from now, as soon as we get this more populated, more people on here, so we can share opinion, share our perspective, and have a great conversation tonight. As you know, guys, this is one of the channel that always keep it positive. And the reason for that being so is that our people are positive. And you can only get positive stuff from positive people. And the genuineness of our people really is so profound. And the astounding effect that we have across the board. It's 12:33 p.m. All right, Mitchie. Bless up. Thank you for being here. 12:33 p.m. So Mitchie may be at work. Wow. It's great to have you here, Mitchie. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to be briefly doing some reflection because, one of the things that is true to life and development and success and is to reflect. And if one doesn't have any form of reflection, whether it be your life, an object, your job, or an experience or something, it's always good to reflect, because when you reflect, then you understand a couple of things. You know where you are and where you'll be going. And not only that, you know what are the things you are to implement or to do to make things better. So reflection is always good. And we're going to reflect a little bit, and then we are going to see where we are right now and where we are going in terms of development and the progress of our country, Jamaica. As you know, guys, approximately 6, 7 weeks ago, 6 weeks to be in fact, I think in October 28th, Melissa hit our country very, very hard. And we are still reeling from the effect of such a bad hit from a storm, Category 5. The things that we suffered, I'm telling you, based on how we are structured in our mind and in our ability to bounce back, I must say kudos to our Jamaican people, especially to those people in the western part of Jamaica that was and still being affected from the horrendous hit and the devastation that took place, that dispossessed people in a great way to nothingness. But people hold on to their strength, their hope, and their belief in God. So approximately 6 weeks ago, guys, we had this catastrophic experience of a hurricane, very disastrous, very, very disastrous, and something that we have never experienced before to the effect, with a magnitude of about 185 miles per hour wind. And some persons say it's more than 185, which I might agree to a point, yes, because based on the velocity, based on the pressure and the gust and everything, man, that thing was whistling and howling like never before, something that one has never experienced. And it's with such a great. But one thing I want also to admire, our people. People during that time were still hopeful, were still upbeat, although they were crying out, but they were still focused on survival. They were still focused on hope. They were still focused on the tenacity to survive and the will and do whatever it takes for them to survive, and not only to survive, but survive in many ways, more than one. So, guys, approximately 6 weeks ago, we were hit by this storm, and day one, day two. But I also want to reflect on the first responders. And I want to say first responders. I am not speaking of law enforcement or the medical team, health workers, so on and so forth. Police, yes, law enforcement did respond as a first responder, but based on the humanitarian characteristics of our people, especially persons who are so caring and want to extend and express their love in meaningful ways, I want to say big up to YouTubers. Me always assist them. Because, when things happened, it wasn't the private sector, it wasn't the any government agencies. It was content creators were on the streets, and not only they were risking their lives, but when they saw the devastation and how the desperation of the situation, they came up with plans and ideas and formulate things, put things in place, and machinery in place. And we're going to do this to help people. When the government, we're talking about logistics, or we cannot access certain parts of the country, we cannot do this, we cannot do that. Simple, normal, local folks who have a camera, most is their phone, or who have a GoPro camera, they were out there making views, bringing out the news to the world at large. They were out there, guys, bringing out reports to the entire world. So persons could be in the comfort of their homes or their offices or wherever, and they could see the devastation that's taking place in Jamaica. It wasn't the mainstream media, as far as I was made to concern to, as far as made to understand. It wasn't mainstream media. It was YouTubers with cameras and phones and all these things who was bringing out reports to the entire globe. Yes, it was there. They were doing it. Not only were they doing that, they saw the necessity, they saw the need to help. And doing that, they would start to make care packages. They would start to do things and to assist people. And not only that, guys, I want also to show my appreciation to neighbors, local neighbors in communities and residents. They got out there and tried to help each other, and that is so commendable, and that just show the true spirit of Jamaicans. When trouble come, everybody get together and try to make try to see how they can better a situation in terms of helping, not only by standing but offering help, whether saving lives, putting up people and all of that. So guys, as we see 6 weeks, during after 6 weeks, things have not yet gone back to normal. And reasons be is that government was slow. Government was slow. And I just want to talk about some things that government had. Government aids, how much $1 billion of aids, and they did after they were slow to get off the ground. They gave out care packages to areas, and they came in after ordinary citizens and YouTubers were on the ground, boots on the ground, and international stakeholders and partners on the ground, giving out stuff. The government chipped in. For whatever reasons, that it took them that long to respond. And, so the government came in and started to do what they have to do. They had to do, and they did it. Yeah. But even at this point, I want to say one of the things, we know that Jamaica, one of our major foreign exchange earner is tourism. Tourism. I must give kudos to the government for opening the airports in the nick of time. That was very good, so that there were access for international aid to come in. That was a good gesture. Not only that, I want to say big up also to former Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clark, for implementing that bond, that catastrophic bond. That came in handy. Jamaica got paid, but until now, there is not a lot of information that is out to the public as to how these things are being worked on. Information are far and few between, which I think that's one of the area that should be so much fluent in terms of information. But nevertheless, big up to Dr. Nigel Clark for doing that. And other people have different theories, but I'm just looking purely at, aids coming in. So the airports got opened up, right? And international aid started coming in, and donor countries and individual donors start to bring in stuff, and so on and so forth. Yes, but in all of that, guys, it was the Jamaican people, the local Jamaican people, who suffered the devastation, and the YouTubers and the people in the area who could afford to lend a helping hand. There were those persons who were out there doing what they were doing, and do it with such great sense of enthusiasm and genuine love for people and for humanity, and want to give aid. And out of nothing, people came forward and assisted. So it continues. We have persons like, I don't know all the names, but I'm going to be calling a couple of names, and those names who I don't remember, I'll just say, and others. You know yourself. You all know what you did. We have persons like Collis Smith, Cameron TV, Jamaica Walk By, Kino, Adventure Stone's family, Green family, Nigel Yeman, um, uh, Lasanic, Reed, um, some of YouTuber, Miss Liquor Kitchen, Father and Son, Adventure. There's one Adventure. Uh, Guys, if you're on here and you know all these names, just help me with some of these names that came out. And from the early part of the whole thing, they were underground. And some of them cry. I must tell you, persons cry. And they never gave up the effort and the venture of giving back. They get in touch with donors, and these donors all over the world who have donated to these trusting, trustworthy YouTubers. I want to say big up to all them people, for real. Big up to all those donors who probably watch these channels, and some um, by chance run into these channels and they saw the need, and these donors, they donated with a heart of love and care, and just compassionate, and the love and the genuine love and compassion for persons who are in need. And these people rally together and make donations, and different organizations that came on board and make donations. We have the reggae, the stars, the artists, the Shaggy, the Spice, the Cartel, the Sean Paul, the Beanie Man, the Bounty Killer, the Grace Spice. I said Spice, yes. Shaggy, Beanie Man, the Buju Banton, and everybody, Tyrese, international artists. These people came together, and they did outshine the government. They outshine the government. I must tell you, you know what I mean? But that's how things are. Until at this point, the government starts saying that they are destroying the dignity of the country, because that's not us, and think we are better than that, and he don't like to see people fighting for food or whatever it is. But as such the thing go, desperation, hate, and as so it go. But nevertheless, we're going to overlook that, because we know what we're, because if there were some folks based on that statement, they would have stopped working together to get people the help that they need. But they're not stopping. They are doing more and more. The Color Smith, the Cameron TV, the Sonic Reed, the so many guys, Nigel, so many of these YouTubers, they didn't pay attention to those kind of erratic statements, or unnecessary statements. They just continue being focused doing what they're doing. So after 6 weeks, guys, Christmas coming, how are we looking in terms of getting back on track, or rebuilding? Some of the things that a lot of persons don't tell you, but I'm here to just share a couple of things, the untold stories of hope. We have persons, because of the water and all of these things that came in. We have rodents and all of these things. We have leptospirosis broke out, which I at one point was saying that the government should have plans in place, the Ministry of Health, because the mosquitoes are breeding and all of these things that has really affected public health. I'm hoping that we don't have a lot of leptospirosis, those cases that was diagnosed. I think it was 11 or something, or whatever. We have persons dying, and I want to stop at this moment to just say condolences to persons who have lost family members in this hurricane. Our prayers and our thoughts are with you. It's hard to have lost your loved one and there was no proper funeral. Persons have to be buried, by family members, like in how it was done. My heart goes out to you, and I just bless God for your hope that you possess and the strength you exhibited in this trying time. So where are we at this point? 6 weeks later, we're still in that process of crawling or creeping. And it might be understandable in some cases, but I still believe more could have been done by the government. But is what it is. We know government, the bureaucracy of government, and these different departments, and that it's gonna be crazy. Ivan Cummins in the house. Big up, Ivan. Big up to you, Ivan Cummins. Thank you so much for being here. We have seen and have heard, I have not yet to fully endorse this, but allegedly we have heard that care packages were given out on a partisan basis. We have heard that. And, I read an article where Dr. Dayton Campbell has temporarily has resigned as General Secretary of the People's National Party to focus on his constituency and relief aid. No, I must also, as I said that, I must also big up Lisa Hanna. Lisa Hanna, big up to Lisa Hanna. Yes, she came up and she really showed great love and giving and just, yeah, Lisa Hanna, bless up to you, big up to you. Yes. And other donors, I may not know of them, different companies who came out and donated. Yeah, but me want to say big up. Number one are the YouTubers. You know how we go. And it's such a situation that one has to wonder what's going on. The government has said that they are going to do coupons. Then I'm wondering, guys, as I said in previous videos, how this thing is going to work out, the logistics. What are the criteria? How this thing is going to be administered and distributed? I think in terms of information is not forthcoming and how these things is going to happen. And it's just that information not forthcoming. And that is so scary. When you cannot, in a national disaster, you cannot get information like, 1, 2, 3. It is scary, and it leads people to speculate. And you can't blame people for speculating, and then people can say, oh, people are doing this and misinformation. But if information was provided in due time and consistently, then persons wouldn't be spreading misinformation or disinformation. I don't know, but I don't understand why the government is not going around to assist the people. Why coupons? I think the government needs to be more transparent. Absolutely. So if the government is not transparent enough or giving out information on a regular basis that is true to life and is so consistent with the present situation, you're going to have speculation. You're going to have people with notions and narratives that might be true or might not be true or close to the truth because their information is not forthcoming. You know what I'm saying? Even big up to Lisa Hanna, big time. Lisa Hanna, yes, big time. Big up to Lisa Hanna. Yeah. So, guys, I think there should be more information coming out that is understandable. Information doesn't take you around the road. Straightforward, 1, 2, 3, cut it. Because that is how Melissa cut it, Melissa, before she got here, she was moving very slow. So probably the government is in that mode as well, moving slow like Melissa. But the YouTubers never move slow, they move quickly because that kind of situation demanded a quick response and they were on the ball from day one. Yeah. So because information is not forthcoming, 6 weeks later, persons are still scrambling for information. And then you're going to have the misinformation, the dissemination of misinformation or disinformation, whatever you want to call it, and narratives, because people are speculating. You know what I'm saying? And when you do things like that, not being forthcoming with information that people needed so badly, then people are going to say, okay, something, some hanky panky is going on. You know what I mean? So I think that's also at 6 weeks later, we're still not yet, the Jamaican people still not yet are privy to information that they should have had in terms of this distribution. How the I say, guys, I should probably done to see if there's any research. But anybody in the comment section who knows if the government has yet stated as to how things are going to be done in terms of distribution, what are the criterias? Do people have to register? What are the registration criterias? What you need? Do you need TRN? Do you need birth certificate? Do you need whatever? And as I said in previous videos, guys, if it's going to be a form of registration that they are going to need, some of these people can't register none. All they had is 202 foot and then four and a yai ball and a body, because all that kind of information would have been lost in the storm, washed away. House is gone. People just left with one clothes pan and back. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, and that is what that's what the government should have done in itself, is to say to people, this is the criteria how we're going to do it. I don't know if they have done it. I must say, I don't know. It's a disclaimer. I don't know if the government has came up with any kind of process as to how people will be able to access these coupons, what time, over what time frame, how it's going to be administered, and what people need to do to receive these coupons that will become beneficial to them, and where they can go to use these coupons. Those are some of the things I want to, a person should have known from day one, rather than just talking about YouTubers giving care packages. Those are some of the more important stuff that should be handled. You know what I'm saying? Those are priorities. Those are priorities. When they're going to get it? Is it for Christmas? 6 weeks later, person's not even having, not going to have a good Christmas. It's understandable the fact that the storm came and has dispossessed them in many, many ways, more than one, in a bad way. But all that the people are having is the hope and the struggle to rebuild. First of all, they got to rebuild their minds, rebuild their mental status. Yes, rebuild your mental status. Oh my God. You have kids and don't have food, don't have clothes. And guys, I must say, big up to YouTubers once again. We have right now in Jamaica, we have Marlon out there, Jamaica Chinese boy, Jamaican uncle out there, and they're giving what they can give in terms of clothing and food kind, and doing stuff. They have people out there who are doing all these things, guys. Kino life in Jamaica. You know something? I watched a video a couple of days ago with Kino life in Jamaica. There was this couple of mothers from Old Harbor who have lost everything, have the babies, and they came to Kino, to Trenchtown, and they stated their situation, and Kino said, let me go get some stuff for you. And Kino went by his headquarters and they started pick out stuff. And what was so fascinating and so heartwarming is that these residents in Trenchtown, a part of Kino's camp, they were in the barrel, both man and woman, packing out stuff for these ladies. Kino said, oh, we have to use a suitcase. And they got a suitcase. And I can see what the guy that actually brought them there, he was packing out stuff. Another lady, people got involved and started packing out stuff for these, I think about 4 females. One of them a baby and all these things. And that was so heartwarming. Yeah. Those are the things that people are doing in a small scale and with the help of donors from across the world. You know what I'm saying? So big up to Kino, all of that. And you know what I mean? 6 weeks later, we're still not, I said, Ivan said, big up to Kino life in Jamaica. Yes, Ivan, for real. That warms my heart when I saw Kino with these ladies and he was giving them stuff. And Said one lady said she don't know mattress and the house. We're in Old Harbor, and Kina said we're gonna get mattress for you and was asking the direction. Lord have mercy. I tell you something, guys. When Jamaica has gone back to that state of normalcy, I am hoping that the government of Jamaica will pay full respect to all the YouTubers. Yeah, even those them talk about spoiling the dignity of care packages. I am hoping that you can recognize Spice, Shaggy, Ramesh, all these big artists. But what about our local YouTubers? I am hoping that the government, in its wisdom, will appreciate, say something about these people. Even Kino has a big heart, a very big heart for real. Kino, I'm telling you. So I'm just hoping that when things come around, and even before then, it not in the too long distance future, the government will see it fit in its wisdom to acknowledge these YouTubers who from day one has been on the ground. And at this point, I'm not even talking about Color Smith now or Kino, because me always I fight for Kino and Color Smith to be awarded or be recognized, by the government. But no, guys, all the YouTubers, every one of them, I hope the government will do it collectively. Even if you can't do it, on a 1, 2, 3 base, but collectively, will recognize the job, the work that these YouTubers have done and still continue to do up to this very day. These guys are a gem in our country. And then all that our people, 6 weeks later, I just want to commend our people for the resilience, for the strength, for the determination. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that I want to also to stress and to make mention of, these YouTubers, when they go into these communities, they never go in because a PNP nor JLP. They never see persons with these needs as on a political. Alita said, instead of relying on the government to do everything, don't you think that having insurance on your home would help? Absolutely. That's it. Insurance would help. But then again, not a lot of people, the ordinary persons, won't be able to afford insurance. Insurance helps in every aspect. Yeah, insurance does help. Yes, because and what also, I don't know how with insurance there might be a slow pace of paying because of this such a large devastation. But insurance does help. Yvonne says, I just don't understand the government on how they are doing things. Big up to all the artists and YouTubers on the job they are doing. Absolutely, Ivan. May I tell you, them people came out and they did a great thing. Thank you, Elita. Big up to you, Elita. Yeah, man. I said not. Ivan said not a lot of people have insurance. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people don't have insurance, but it's important that persons who can afford it get insurance, because in these cases, insurance will come through for you. It's better you have it and you don't need it, or you need it and you don't have it. That's the way it is. Yeah. And as I was saying, I'm hoping that the government in due time will just recognize collectively. If you cannot do it individually, collectively, in parliament or whatever, let it be on the Hansard. Let me go to parliament. Up there, knock. Let it be Hansard recorded that very few have insurance. Yeah, very few have insurance. Yes. Let it be on the Hansard that the government of Jamaica collectively recognize all YouTubers and content creators, social media people, a them are the real G, for real. Them are the real G, because they have brought the awareness to the world. And not only have they brought the awareness to the world, they did something about it. They continue to do it even to this very day, giving care packages, giving zinc and building materials, and all of these things. Oh my God, I am telling you, we have some of the most uh, patriotic YouTubers on Jamaicans, for real. So during this time, all of our people are building. Margaret Simith, good night, Sir Rupert, everyone. Good night to you, Margaret Simith. Good night to you. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, we are discussing 6 weeks later the untold stories of hope and struggle to rebuild Jamaica after the hurricane. It's going to be a tough road ahead. Tough road ahead. We got how many weeks? How many weeks for Christmas? Today is the 10th. 15 days for Christmas. Some people, I'm just really, really saddened by the fact that a lot of people won't have Christmas as it should be, but yet they are going to have Christmas. You see how unique we are, guys? You see how unique Jamaicans are? Let me make that statement again. A lot of folks are not going to have Christmas, but still, a lot of folks going to have Christmas. That's how unique we are. That's how we're built on such resilience and such strength and the hope. And through the struggle, Jamaican just put them shoulder to the wheel and brace themselves and deal with survival because they have the hope and say, God has spared my life. So a lot of people not going to have Christmas, but a lot of people going to have Christmas. And that just goes to show how uniquely we are built. Yvonne said, it's going to be a tough road ahead, but a lot more work is needed, escorted. Absolutely. A lot more work. Yeah. And I'm just thanking God that in this time, man, that we have some of the most resourceful, resilient, strong people. You know what I'm saying? Who don't just lay down and just say whatever. They have strength in themselves and they make their resolve in their mind, you know? And you know, big up to our Jamaican people. Big up to all that. So 6 weeks later, we're on the road to recovery. Yes, slow, but by the help of God, we'll get there. But all I'm asking that there be more transparency, more information that is forthcoming, so people don't have to speculate and come up with all kind of narratives, and then you hear that people are spreading wrong information and all of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people won't have Christmas, no homes closed, food. Absolutely, a lot won't have it, but just based on our strength, we're going to have it. Because if I have one roast banana, we're going to have it for Christmas and say, thank you, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how we are. You know what I mean? And I do want to thank all the donors again who are giving out care packages, who are putting a ray of hope in the homes of our people. Guys, you are the best. 6 weeks later, you guys are still on the job, doing what you're doing. And I come here chiefly tonight to talk about our local Jamaican people, our artists, our YouTubers, our local Jamaican people in the diaspora who are just sending stuff, doing stuff, money, food, clothes, every form of contribution. Our donors, our people all over the world. And not only that, I also want to big up Margaret said, I have been saying the same thing. Thank God for the YouTubers who contributed to the relief. Absolutely. They were the first ones on the ground who was doing all of this. And the government was very, Mr. Andrew Onus was out of line to have gone to say that. And I think probably he saw Color Smith video when those persons, when he first went to in Westmoreland, and there was a little bit of disorder, and persons were running down the truck and all that. Probably he saw that video and came up with that statement. I think it was Colors, allegedly, I'm thinking, probably it was Colors thing he saw and came up with that. It's unfortunate That happened, and it was more unfortunate that the prime minister said that. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, man, for real, Margaret. Yeah, man. The same thing I'm saying. I'm hoping that our people, man, deserves better. And I said I thank God for the international donors who are friends of friends and institutions. Because what I've also came to realize, let's say for instance, there's a Jamaican working at a certain institution, whether it's a hospital or wherever. Janet, big up to you, Janet, big up, working. And workers who are not even Jamaicans are, they're just connected by co-workers. They are sending their support and just their heart, isn't it? And so I want to say big up to those extended folks who really, really also go all out to make sure that they send stuff and give aid to Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? So just the local folks, I'm talking artists, YouTubers, and local donors internationally and locally. These people are the number one in my eyes. Number one. And they're not doing it for a clout or to be rewarded. It's just from the heart. There's a need, and they find out ways and means in which to facilitate these people by offering, getting them help, so needed help, such help that is so needed, and they appreciate it. Guys, when I see YouTubers go out there and they give care packages and people say, thank you, I have not seen anyone. This is the first time I'm getting that. The children, it warms my heart to know that, yes, you know what I'm saying? So I am saying, guys, I'm hoping that the government will in short order recognize our local YouTubers. Janet said, I will watch latest job. Big up, Janet here. Thank you so much. Yeah, bless up, man. Bless up, bless up. I'm hoping, yeah, that he will do that. Because I must tell you guys, Jamaica is a beautiful place. And also want to make mention that regardless of the devastation, people still want to go to Jamaica for Christmas. People in diaspora want to go home. Not having electricity, not having the kind of felicity that they would have, and the amenities that they would have wanted to have. They're still going home to Jamaica. Rosemary said, Murray Hoffman said, I'm going. Yeah, people want to go home, And I was reading an article. I tell you something. 6 weeks later, this was happening because I said tourism is one of the number one foreign exchange earner in Jamaica. Yeah. So within that 6 weeks, tourism and core infrastructure, international airports and seaports have reopened. There's a high priority push to get the industry fully operational by mid-December. That's the tourism sector, right? Particularly on the North Coast, having reopened with key chains like Sandals successfully resuming operations at several properties. So these hotels opening because I said tourism is one of the main foreign exchange earner. You know what I'm saying? So that's happening. People still going on. Sandals. Guys, also want to big up Sandals. Sandals came through for his workers. Big up to Sandals. I tell people, right? I like to support my own people. Yes, there is we know that the Rio closed. They say they're closed and persons are laid off. I don't know if it's temporarily, but this can be permanent, yeah? But Sandals never closed. Sandals being operated, and Sandals gave their workers, I think is how much thousands of dollars, and all that they did, and persons who never double up people pay somehow and really, really show up and for their workers. Deja Resort, the same thing. You know what I'm saying? In Montego Bay. Yeah. So also what also happened, utilities and water service have been restored to most resort areas, and significant work is going on to bring service back to all affected communities. So utilities is on the ball, bringing back power, internet, and all of these things. Marie, hello, Marie. Big up, Marie. Big up. I just call your name. You're going to live long. You're going to live as long as ever. Thank you so much. Um, we look at the humanitarian and social situation. Over 90,000 households, approximately 279,000 people remain displaced. Though this number is in official shelters as it has decreased as families move into informal arrangements. That's the amount of people that were displaced, according to government. We have the health concerns. Ongoing leptospirosis outbreak is a serious concern. Absolutely. I talked about it already. Public health. You know what I mean? Yes. Yeah. Humanitarian aid. Approximately 280,000 people have been reached with food, shelter, materials, tarpaulins, and other essentials. Efforts are transitioning from in-kind food distribution to cash-based support. That's it, man. Please give the video. Thank you, Ivan. Yes, guys, give the video a like. Yes. Housing, and this is coming from now from government. Yeah. Housing and education. Over 156,000 houses need repair, and hundreds of schools and dozens of medical facilities suffered damage, severely disrupting education and health services, especially in Western parishes. Initial damage estimate are significant, reaching around $8.8 billion, this US dollars, a figure equivalent to nearly half of the country's annual GDP. International financing. Jamaica has secured a major 6.7 billion US dollar recovery financing package over 3 years from international partners, including the World Bank, IMF, and other funds, reconstruction and build resilience. These are funding. Yeah, these are money that have financing package over 3 years. You know what I mean? Agricultural damage. Agricultural sector sustained substantial damage with estimated losses of approximately 180 million, raising immediate medium-term concern about food shortages. Yeah? Guys, this is figures that we are hearing here right now. Some might not be as accurate as it is, but it's around there. But look at it, what YouTubers had done. Oh, Lord Jesus. And YouTubers now, package, Right now, as I mentioned earlier, guys, the government going to resort to coupons, yeah? We want to know how this is going to be administered. If anybody in the comment section know if the government has said how they're going to administer these coupons, what are the requirements, what's the amount of the coupon? That again, the amount, because food gets expensive. And because of the hurricane, agricultural produces prices went up. So how much the coupons going to be? I don't know. If somebody in the comment section let me know. I don't know if that information has yet been released. How much the coupons, the amount of the coupons, right? When it's going to be starting to be distributed? What are the requirements? How can one have access to these coupons? Is it that you have to bring some ID? You have to bring some birth certificate, TRN, or what it is, passport? I don't know. But these are some of the most important questions that one should ask, and not only ask, but these questions must be answered in short order, so people can prepare themselves, knowing that if I have to do XYZ, I can't wait till I'm going to hear that I'm going to need this, and then tomorrow is deadline. Is the point I'm making? So there should be enough time for whatever requirements are, enough time given that persons can come up with all of that. Ivan said, yeah, I would like to know how the coupons are going to work. Whoa, very interested. That is the point. And those are some of the things that the government should, rather than say we are Well, after he saw Colors Summit video, start to get on there. They say, we are going to give coupons. We are going to give. You see, you see that how that plays out? So we are going to give. When is this going to happen? How much is the coupon? What are the requirements to obtain and have access to these coupons? Where can you spend them? You see the point I'm making? Christmas are come. As well as Christmas are coming, Yama. A lot of people are going to be without Yama this year, Christmas. You know? So thank God once again for YouTubers who are constantly out there giving out aid. For real. For real. Big up to all YouTubers out there giving out aid to the Jamaican people. And the Jamaican people are so appreciative. Thank God for the donors as well who are out there doing stuff. So the government should be thankful for the YouTubers and for international donors and local donors. You know what I mean? So these are some of the questions. I said, guys, I don't know if these questions, I mean, a lot of questions about the coupons. So there, Ivan, I don't, as I said, I don't know if there is any information given as to are those questions I asked. When is it going to be given out? How much it is? What are the criterias? And where can you spend it? And those are some of the questions that the government, when they thought about coupons, rather than, saying unfortunate stuff about dignity of Jamaica. Everybody knows when people are hungry. but I must also comment, Color Smith, after that first episode, things got more streamlined and the order has been there maintained, because initially people were hungry, man. So that behavior, but now you have more people out there giving out stuff, so more people come and more have access to more food and all that. So so like one time, you know what I mean? Things are getting back, a little bit of progress have been made in infrastructure, roads and all that. A little bit of progress have been made. So after 6 weeks, we have made a little progress in our infrastructure. Yes, roads are cleared, water in some areas, electricity in some areas. Big up to JPS has done a great job. These guys have worked assiduously. Our health sector, big up to all our doctors and nurses, because there's a couple of hospitals that had suffered damages, great damages. These doctors and nurses and the CNAs and health workers and ancillary staff, the persons that do the cleaning, the cooking and all these things, those persons were up, staying at work, giving aid, giving help, hoping that the hospital patients can be taken care of and all these things. So big up to you guys. Were nurses there for weeks, for days, couldn't go home. You know what I'm saying? Sleep in their cars. And also our police officers. Big up to you guys. After 6 weeks, you guys are still out there offering high-level security. And also you guys are in the communities. Police officers in the communities are being a part of the whole recovery, the whole recovery and aid and all of these things. Our police officers in the communities. Big up the commissioner is out there repairing police stations and all that. Everybody. So big up to law enforcement. Big up to the police and the JDF. They're out there, doing their thing. Yes. So that just to go that, there is some level of cooperation and thing, but still we have people in parliament and make fuss. Initially, guys, this is what I said, that after this thing happened, there should be no parliament, should have been suspended for about 2 or 3 sittings, and every MP out there on the job. Dayton Campbell has resigned temporarily, took a leave of absence from his portfolio as General Secretary of the PNP. He wants to focus on his constituency and aid and all that, which is a good look. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that person is going to have a political spin on that and start coming up with all kind of different narratives. But it is what it is. You're not going to get away from that. So I would ask that every MPs focus on your community. Focus on your communities. Not only when you want vote, you go to the communities. If you have to write donkey, as I had said in some previous videos, communities, focus on your communities. Because persons, when they look vote them all over the place, implant them knee and a swim on rope. So now the time that all the MPs, as much as possible. I know you may not have access to all resources that you would have wanted access to that could facilitate a great amount of people to provide this type of thing that they need so that life can be a little better. You don't have access to all the funds that are required, but whatever amount you have, I know you're going to do your best, not only to give it to PNP or only to give it to JLP, but give it to Jamaicans. That is it. Jamaicans. It's no time to be PNP and JLP or any other P. It's time to be Jamaicans. We work together. We suffer together because Melissa never came to Jamaica for PNP or JLP. Melissa has displaced Jamaicans, not PNP or JLP, Jamaicans. So I'm hoping that color and partisanship is not the order of the day. We have heard of that kind of thing happening. We have heard about it, but for God's sake, if it happened already, don't make it happen again. Let us desist from being partisan in this time. Jamaica, we say. Jamaica, we say. At Jamaica, we say. You know what I mean? And I'm just thanking God for the resilience of our people, hope. Also the kids. I mentioned that in another live I had, the kids, the traumatized kids, how kids are going to be traumatized for Christmas. But I'm hoping that parents would have taken it upon themselves, take the initiative of talking to our kids and said, in a nice way, nobody go cuss them out when, what I mean, in a nice way, guys, this is the situation, this time, blah, blah, blah. So Christmas not going to be as it was last year, but I know you're a good kid. I know you'll understand. I know that's how you got to do it. I know you will understand. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get through this. You got to build that reinforce that resilient spirit and that level of acceptance and recognition, knowing that the situation is here and there's nothing we can do about it, but to appreciate each other and work together to achieve the things. Conrad said, the best thing about Jamaica right now is a level-headed and intelligent prime minister. I wish all Jamaica the best of everything. Absolutely. That's what we need. Somebody that's level-headed and understanding, has empathy, and has equality across the board. It's not that partisanship, but Jamaicans. And it's when we say these things, because I've heard a lot of people talk a lot of stuff, it's word and action. The word you say, act it out. Because Percival said this, and when they get out of parliament, is a different thing. Two mouths or two faces under one heart. We don't want that at this time. We want, whether it's JLP or PNP, parliamentarian, what you say, let it be according to what you say. Don't act in the opposite. Because people are watching you. And when election come around, hey, so it behooves the hurricane impacted both PNP and JLP, so the help should be for all Jamaicans. Absolutely, Yvonne. The help should be for all Jamaicans, right? Because it's Jamaicans who suffer, not PNP or JLP, it's Jamaicans who suffer. And I'm hoping that some of these parliamentarians never had even a zinc blow for them house. They're in the nice, cozy houses. Yeah. Elita said, hey, Mary, I had to leave for a few minutes. Big up. Yeah, Elita. So the thing go. So I'm hoping that, we have level-headed parliamentarian members of parliament and, that work in tandem with humanity and with decency, and do the right thing by the people of Jamaica. Once again, we need information of the coupons. Yeah. And I'm putting that out there. And also, we need that all YouTubers be recognized collectively. When they go to parliament, knock table and big them up. Don't cuss them out, because people have been doing that and talk about misinformation. Because if you don't have information, you're going to have misinformation. So if we give the information in due time and with consistency, you're not going to have misinformation. Mark my word. You know what I mean? So sometimes persons talk about the problem. They create the problem. They have created the problem. And they talk about the problem. Oh, people are saying this and doing that. But you have created the problem by not being transparent and being efficient in delivering correct word, correct information, correct news, and in a timely manner. Because information shared in a timely manner will certainly dissipate all the innuendos, the misinformation, and the false narratives. Information, you know what I'm saying? That's how it is, guys. And I'm hoping that, I want to say that we are strong people. And 6 weeks later, we're still at that place where we are like, mm, mm. Not many people can show any real sign of changes, because there are still some people who are in some very, very bad situation. And I'm hoping that the powers that's there will take this into consideration. Take this into consideration. And I know that our Jamaican people will still share with each other. As I said, a lot of Jamaicans have suffered, even the agriculture sector, the farmers who, as I said in my previous live, farmers who used to depend on certain crops for farming for Christmas, that is totally obliterated. Sorrel, ginger, and these different uh, agricultural planting products, these things have really just gone. So it's going to be hard on both ends. Not able to sell your crops. Person used to raise chicken, raise goat, raise pig, and cattle, and all these things for Christmas. Um, Conrad said, United we stand, divided we fall. Absolutely, Conrad. It's more true now than ever. United we stand, divided we fall. Because it takes unity of purpose, unity of mind and power, unity of conscience, and unity of belief. And that's how we're going to be able to overcome this hurdle and this real challenging time on situation. It's going to be tough. We don't want to have a repeat of this again. No, we don't want to. So now that we are here, we got to move on from here with high spirit, high intensity of purpose and mind and positivity, and kind of brace ourselves for the challenges that's ahead, knowing that we shall overcome. We will build better and bigger and stronger. Together we are stronger. United we stand. Divided we fall. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, that's some of the things I want to, the untold stories, that a lot of Jamaicans are facing 6 weeks after the hurricane. And the untold stories of hope and struggle to rebuild Jamaica after the hurricane. A lot of people don't have a voice. You know who their voices are? The YouTubers. I can't stop talking about YouTubers. A lot of folks, their voice is content creators, YouTubers. That's their voice. That's their voice. That is their voice. That's their voice. So I'm hoping that nobody will try to shut them up, because that's the voice of the people. And as I said, if information is forthcoming in a timely manner, you won't have any misinformation or disinformation. So we are our worst enemy. So those persons who have a problem, you're your worst enemy, because you're not giving information that as is needed in a timely manner. And that's all I'm saying. As I said again, I don't know how timely, how this information, if it's out there, I don't know. I'm just saying, because I'm not seeing it, I'm not hearing it. I'm not seeing, I'm not hearing it. And I just want, these things to happen. Transparency is the order of the day. As I said, the YouTubers, their transparency, their oversight committee is them camera. Camera. right? That is their oversight committee and accountability level. So, guys, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure to have you. 6 weeks after, or 6 weeks later, we are where we are. Some people are further than some, but mainly this is just focused on the western end of Jamaica, who suffered severely, who suffered severely through the storm. Yeah. So 6 weeks later, the untold stories of hope and struggle to rebuild Jamaica after the hurricane. 6 weeks later, stories of hope. We can see people when they have nothing and they get something, no matter how small it is, they say, thank God. Life is number one. That's hope, guys. And because of the hope that one has, you'll endure the struggles. You'll endure the struggles because you have hope. So where there is a will, there is a way. So because of the hope that you have in this time of adverse and challenging situations, you're going to go through the struggle and rebuild. First of all, we're going to rebuild in our mind, strengthen our minds, and then we build Jamaica brick by brick, street by street, home by home, build by the next person you meet on the street. You're going to share love and say, man, let's hang in there together. Camaraderie, relationship. That's what we're going to do. Build together. You know what I mean? And that's what we're going to build Jamaica. When we build each other. You walk on the street, not the time for a person to be walking on the street and try to scam people or try to hurt folks. But we're going to, every man you see on the street, you don't have to know the person from Adam. But you say, hey, brother, hey, sister, how you doing, man? Hang in there. That's how we're going to build. That's how we're going to build. We're not going to leave nobody behind. No, I'm not leaving you behind. I'm going to just share love, because no man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man's joy is joy to me. Each man's grief is my own. We need one another, so I will defend each man as my brother and each man as my friend. Jamaica will rise again. Yes, we will rise. We will rise because we believe in the one God Almighty, with the power in our hands, in our heart, and our mind being strengthened, and the will to survive and go through this challenging time. Dark days we'll leave behind and move forward and march forward with strength, vigor, vitality, walk in the faith, strong belief and desire to overcome, knowing that better days are ahead. That's the power. That's the power. We will build again. We'll rise again because we are strong people. We are strong people. We got Marcus Garvey, Nanny of the Maroons, Paul Bogle, Kojo, George William Gordon, Michael Manley, Norman Washington Manley, and all these Norman Manley, all these heroes. We got that blood, that African spirit that stands up in times of adversity, that stands up and said, we will overcome someday. Oh, my Lord, have his mercy. That's who we are. That's who we are. That's who we are as Jamaicans. And we have shown it. We have shown it. Oh, God, we have shown it. That's who we are. Because look at the smiles on the face of Jamaicans who have lost their houses, who have lost everything, but yet there's a smile. That speaks volume. I salute you, my Jamaicans. I salute you, those who have lost everything, but yet you have a smile. I salute you. I salute you. You are strong. You're who you are. Through the grace of God and the hope and the strength and the ambition and the discipline that you portray and you exhibit every day. That's who you are. 6 weeks later, you're out there fighting the cause of survival, fighting for your children, your grandparents, the elderly, the sick and the helpless, and those who are indigent. You're fighting harder than the government. You fight in your communities. The community spirit is alive. And we shall overcome. We'll build again and rise above the tide. And one day we shall say, I've seen the light. God bless you, Jamaicans. God bless you. I'll be back on here before Christmas. But if I don't get the chance to be back on here before Christmas, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. In this time, whatever level of happiness you can find, it's in you. I know it will be less than what it was, but you still have it. You still got it because you said you have life. You're still breathing. That's what you said. Every Jamaican who have suffered, that's what you said. Thank God for life. So that is enough for you to express yourself in faith. That's what it takes for you to walk tall. Ambition, discipline, fortitude, strength, power, love, relationship, belief in God the Almighty, knowing that every day you wake up, you have the will to survive. You're a survivor. You're an overcomer. We shall rise again. God bless you. May the peace of God surround you, all my people. May grace, mercy, and peace be all over you. Jamaica, land we love. Teach us true respect for all. That's who we are. That's who we are in this time. Oh my God. Thank you guys for being on here tonight. Thank you guys for being on here tonight. Thank you guys for being on here tonight. And if somehow you came across this video, I want you to watch it to the end. Don't skip the ads, because there's power in unity, common purpose. That's it. Thank you guys so much. If you're here for the first time, thank you. All my regular people, thank you. Been always on here. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do. Please give the video a like, share it, comment, subscribe. May the God of peace rest, remain, and abide with you. And may your lives be meaningful. And if you are sick in the body, may you be healed. Body, mind, soul, and spirit. As Jamaicans, we are stronger together, and we shall rise again. God bless you. As I always say in all my videos, guys, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Have a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, wherever you're watching from. And if I don't see you on this side, I'll see you on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And definitely walk in faith. Walk in faith. And the hope and the resilience of the Jamaican spirit will continue to avail itself every day. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Please like, share, comment, and also subscribe. God be with you. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.